All right, all right, all right. Hello, hello, welcome. For those of you who are viewing or listening, welcome to the Focus Marathon. It is the fourth day of July, and here in the you laughing at that? And here in the United States, we call it Independence Day. And I know how you doing, Karen. We're past the halfway mark.
Yeah.
We got 26 days total to do. This is day, oh, what day is this?
It is
Is
day
it 15?
number
15,
15.
15, day number
Welcome to
15.
day
I
15
am
of the
losing
Focus
track.
Marathon.
I am losing track.
It's going by
Yeah,
like
it's going,
that.
and you know what? The second half is going to go by so fast because I looked at the lineup for the speakers that are coming on. It is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It is amazing, and I think that it's going to go by so quick. It's going to go by too quick. So, for those of you who are listening or joining for the first time, if you're seeing this on maybe recorded, man, if you like this information when this thing is over with, this is our 4th of July Independence Day session because we started our marathon in between the holiday here. And so, even though we have the holiday, we are still streaming because we made a commitment to ourselves and to you
Mm-hmm.
that we would be here for 26 days, 26 nights straight
Yeah.
live streaming. So come
And,
on,
and
what's going on, girl?
well, in case this is your first time even seeing us, I'm
Yes.
Karen. This is Antonio Cheeks, and we just want to welcome you to our channel, whether you're viewing from our YouTube channel, LinkedIn, or Facebook.
Or Facebook, that's right.
So we're excited to bring new content to you throughout the marathon, really.
Throughout the marathon, it's
And
been some good stuff.
I don't know if you realize, but we started on Juneteenth. Well, the official holiday,
Right.
the official
Yeah,
celebration
that's
of the
right, that's
holiday.
right, that's
So
right.
that was another day
Yeah.
about freedom.
Freedom.
And
So,
now at the
wow.
halfway, a little past the halfway point, here we are celebrating freedom and
We're
independence
still
yet
talking
again.
about freedom. So this is our Independence Day broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
And we know you got to get out and continue to have your family festivals and your fireworks if it's legal wherever you are, if you can have
Mm-hmm.
fireworks. I know you're going to get back to that, but we wanted to come out and share with you today, and we want to talk about independence and what does that mean and the freedom that comes along with it. And as Karen and I was discussing earlier today, we realized, and you know this, that hey, I see my brother out there.
Mm-hmm.
You realize that independence does not come freely.
Nope, not at all. It does not.
It does not come freely.
There is a cost, and I don't think it was always clear to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's particularly younger years. It's not really clear to me that there is a cost for our freedom.
Yes.
Freedom is not free.
Yeah, and although we have our mistakes, we're not perfect as a country, but we're pretty close as it can get as a country. I mean, you just think about it. So we have the ability right now. We're online, and nobody's shutting us down.
Not yet.
But you could pretty much, in this country, in the United States, it just depends on where you are. You could actually, if it's not illegal, you can pursue your dream.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
You can pursue your dream as long as it's not legal or immoral. But even if it's immoral, people still pursue it. But you can pursue that dream that is within you. You can read any book you want to read.
Mm-hmm.
There's some areas where, you can't read. Like I read the Bible, you read the Bible. There's some places that we could probably be persecuted for doing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, something simple as that. And we have people that our church is associated with that are in other countries where they have to hide to read something basic for us as a Bible.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to take that for granted. So that's why I'm happy to come out here today and share with you guys. And yes, I'm rocking the hat. I got James like, woo, so what we got here? So how can I get a Nike hat like that? I just had a birthday. You did just have a birthday.
Happy birthday to you. It's coming. It's on the way.
It's on the way. It is on the way. Yes, we are. And we are a blessed nation. We're a blessed nation. As a matter of fact, we are going to go soon to the Bible Museum
Hmm.
downtown in DC. Now, come on now. Where can you go and do that? Just freely go and do that. You can
Hmm.
do that here. And so look at James like, yes, okay, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. So we'll come back to that, or we'll talk offline, James, about that. I'm actually wanting to call you about that, so we'll talk about that. But one thing I realized, so some people were asking me, why did you decide to do this marathon?
Hmm.
And Karen and I, we had went on a vacation. We came back, and I said I just felt like doing something different. But the truth of the matter is that I had came back from my vacation. I went back to work, and I realized that there were some things I was trying to accomplish that was not being accomplished. I have to wait for so many layers to get things done, and I just said I want to do something that we can control,
Hmm.
that we can set the pace, we can set the terms, we can set the content, and so that's also is behind why we started this channel.
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
wanted to say this is ours and we can control it.
Yeah. And I think the other part, just adding to that, because we have been in ministry together and we've had a track record, and this is just from what we've
Hmm,
been, the
hmm, hmm.
feedback that we've gotten. The track record has been that we've been able to create an environment where people can discuss, they can share thoughts, share ideas, where they
Sure.
can freely say things without feeling like they're going to be condemned if they
Right,
do.
right, right.
And we've created a community.
Yes, yes.
And we kept getting the question over and over again,
Over and over again.
how do we keep this going?
Right, right.
And we didn't have an answer immediately.
Mm-mm,
And it's
mm-mm.
been over a few years that we've actually been mulling ideas over. So this is sort of the first step.
Yeah.
As we're talking about really encouraging people to take the next step, whatever that next step is for you,
Hmm.
this is our next
This is
step
our next step.
in furthering our community.
Yeah, and I love it. I love it. Like you said, it's a track record. It's something that we've actually have seen evidence of, fruit of it happening. And so we're trying to be obedient in that area, and we're also trying to serve in that area. Speaking of serving, I have a guy here. He has been serving for a long time, and I think because we're on LinkedIn, he was able to see this show, and Mr. William Murray, man, yes, thank you for coming out, thank you for participating, Mr. Murray. If you have not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead. You know how this works. Click that subscribe button and that notification bell, so you'll know anytime something like this goes down, you'll be able to get on board. So thank you for coming out, sir, and hanging out with us on the 4th of July, Independence Day. So, Karen and I wanted to come out and just sit and say, hey, we really care about the audience. We care about you guys. And man, we really appreciate you.
Yeah.
We really
And
appreciate you
here's the thing. We have the freedom, right?
to do.
To share thoughts, to share ideas, and to encourage you all to do the same.
Hmm, hmm.
Whatever format that is for you. It may not be a live show like what we're doing. It may not be through social media, but we want to encourage you. And particularly, I guess, as we talk tonight about independence and the fact that we do have freedom and freedoms, plural.
Hmm.
Sometimes we can get stuck in our own thinking.
Okay, you want to go there?
I want to go
Okay, you want to go
there.
there? All right, cool. So let's ask the question then. So with all that you could do, what are some of those things that are holding you back
Mhm.
from where you should be, where you could be, but you're not? I was listening to a story. You want to go there? Okay, cool. I was listening to a audio from Sylvester Stallone,
Mhm.
and he was talking about his early stages trying to get launched in his career.
Mhm.
And he said, if you are in a movie and you're playing a role in this movie and you can control or direct the role, he said, would you be happy today if the play or the movie is called Life and you are in control of the role that you're playing in this movie, would you be happy with it? Would you be happy with the role that you're playing right now?
If I thought about my life as a movie,
Mm-hmm.
would I be happy with the role that I'm currently playing?
Yes.
That's a tough
That
question.
is a tough question because there's probably aspects that you do like, and then,
Right. Yeah. And if I were to answer that question for myself, I think there are some things that I do like. There's some things that I still want to see. I want to see myself progress in.
Sure.
And so I'd love to pose that question to those who are tuning in.
Yeah.
If you think about your life and how things are going, are you happy with the role that you're playing? Do you feel like you're stuck in some areas? Do you feel like you're moving? Things are clicking on all cylinders. We'd love to hear from you. Put some notes. Put something in the chat. We'd love to hear from you. And while they're doing that, and kind of give it some thought, but go ahead and put something in the chat. What would you say?
Wow. Okay. Now we're playing tennis with this. I'm hitting you the ball. Now you're hitting it back to me.
I'm lobbing it.
You're lobbing it back. So there's certain areas in this movie called Life that I would say, you know what, this is a good role for me to play. But there's many roles that it's almost no, I'm not happy with the role that I'm playing, in the sense that it's like reading a script that someone has given you, and it's like, I think I can add something more to that. I think I can be, I can have a different slant on that. I could do it a little bit better if given the opportunity. And here's the thing. I think we wait for the opportunity when we need to create. Okay, I'll go softer. Create. I was gonna say take, but you can create the opportunity to change the play, and that's what this is all about. And that's why we went with taking the next step, because what happens is you think, okay, I want to do something different, but I want to do all of this. And when you think about all of this, that's difficult.
Yeah.
If you narrow it down and say, what's the one thing or the next thing that I could do to get to what I see?
Right. Yeah. So, for me, one of my goals, I had written down a few goals this year for myself. One was about being more physically fit.
Yeah.
That was one of my goals. And if you tuned into any of the other shows, we talked about the fact that, one, I don't have a love for going to the gym. And of course, but that's not the only way that you can get fit, right?
Right.
But in some of these conversations, particularly the one that we had on Friday, where we talked about overcoming diabetes, how to manage and control diabetes, our guest speaker, Gail Bussell, she really said something that just hit me to my core. And it wasn't anything I hadn't heard before, but it just clicked on this particular day. And she just kind of talked about, what is it that you have in your hands that you can do? Where do you have control in this situation? And it just hit me because I was like, I could exercise. I don't want to go to the gym. I play tennis, but I don't get to play as often as I would like. But I have certain things that are right at my disposal that I can do, right? And so I started working out, and my goal is to stay as consistent as possible. But here's the thing. I do have a gym membership. I actually have one, but I don't physically go to this gym. Haven't gone.
Gotcha.
But what I realized is on the app for this gym, they have at-home workouts that you can do in the comfort of your own home. Now, once I realized, I said, you know what, Karen, you have no excuse. There's something that you can do. What is it that you have control over that you can do? And so when I started thinking about that, I was like, okay, I can, because one of the things regarding diabetes, it said that if you didn't exercise or move like at least 3 times a week, you could be at risk. You could become pre-diabetic and eventually even move over. And I said, man, I have a desk job where I sit a lot. And so I was like, you know what? I got to make sure I'm moving.
Yeah.
I want to prevent getting myself in that situation. And that's something that I have control over.
Wow. That's interesting. I want to ask you this question. Did you notice, as I clear my throat, did you notice I moved your little dumbbells upstairs for you?
I did.
I saw that. Okay.
So let me shed some light on why he's bringing that up. So one of the videos I watched, they said they have dumbbells, and I said, but I don't know where my dumbbells are.
They're locked down, hidden. I had to crawl through things, move things. I almost hurt myself trying to get them, but go ahead.
I said, I don't know where they are. But the person who was leading the exercise, they gave some alternatives. They said you can use like cans of soup or, canned goods, whatever canned goods you have in your house as alternatives if you don't have dumbbells. I have some, just didn't know where they were. But I decided to go down and get those canned goods, and I did the exercise with the canned goods, and it worked out. But now I see that the dumbbells, he found them for me. So thank you, babe. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. It was 2 sets. The girl got a little gym inside the house here, if you want to. And there's some other stuff back in that back hallway back there I can bring out for you. But anyway, so you can make change with stuff that's right in front of you. That's right in reach. That's right in your hand. I'm recalling there was one story in the Bible where the man of God asked a woman, she was asking him for help because her husband had just died. Mm-hmm. And she was like, man of God, help me. And he said, well, what do you have in your house? Mm-hmm. So she was looking externally, but her breakthrough was right in her house.
Right.
Like your breakthrough. And you got a compliment today, right?
I did.
You got a compliment on some muscle tone. I was like,
I went, so just so y'all know, this tank top I'm wearing, so I went to the grocery store.
She's showing off.
And the lady who checked me out, she had packed my bag kind of heavy. And she said, you got that? And I said, well, let me see. So I picked up the bag, and she said, oh, your muscles are popping out. I said, thank you. I've been working out.
It's a wrap. I'm done. But the thing is, you made small steps. The thing about this, you made small steps. You didn't have to go back to the gym because that's not your thing. You don't like going to the gym. But you said, what can I do here at home?
Yeah. And
you had back to the theme, independence, you had the freedom.
Yeah.
To choose what you would do.
Yeah. And the thing is, if I stayed stuck in the mindset of I'll get to it, maybe I'll do it. I don't like the gym. I really don't like to work out. If I stayed in that mindset, then, who knows what would happen. But I was like, I don't want to even leave myself open for what could happen. Let's take control of what I can take control of today.
Right. Control your controllables.
Yeah.
I like that. All right, let's take a moment and go over it. You did ask people questions.
I did.
And they responded
awesome.
To you. So, man, look at this. So the story we just finished, James brought up, that was Elisha and the widow woman. Mm-hmm. Yes. And then we have, thanks for sharing that, man. Hey, look, I know if a Bible verse is talked about, we got 2 people on this call that's going to be able to bring at least 2. Yes. But I know 2 for sure who's going to bring that word to the forefront. So right. I know that. And James is one of these guys that can do that. So let's look at what Tyrone had to say. He said, I'm happy with my role, but I know I could do more. Mm-hmm. You know what? That's where I'm at. Then he goes on to say, just haven't completely figured it out yet. And that's, I think that's where a lot of people are. A lot of people are like, I feel it. I know there's something more in me that I can give, that I can contribute to society. Just how do I get it all together?
Right.
Or how do I even package it to give to the world? I know James is good at helping people package stuff. So
yeah,
we might have to move to Zoom where we can all do like a face-to-face and just chop it up and talk this thing out. Mm-hmm. But that is the key, right? How do you take what you know that's inside of you, bring it out of you, and then give it to the world?
Yeah.
So the world can benefit from it.
Yeah, I think that's a really good thing to think about, and a good thing to not allow the fact that you haven't quite figured it all out yet hold you back. And so what do I mean by that?
Yeah, what do you mean by that?
Just if you have like a little inkling of the idea, to start moving where you have some idea. So
okay, go ahead.
So if, for example,
how they saying, unpack that for us.
So for example, if you have an idea, I'm just going to use a book. If you have an idea of a book, mm-hmm. the first thing you write down what the book is about. You can outline it. Mm-hmm. And the more you the more you kind of start to unpack what that book might be about, feel like what it might touch upon, who you might interview, what research has mm-hmm. to be done, then there becomes clarity around the focus of the book and the flavor of the book and mm-hmm. all of that. And so, but if you have like just a little small idea,
sure.
Start with that little small idea.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't have any idea, and Tyrone, we know you, but if you don't have any idea, then I think the first place, of course, is prayer.
Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Prayer is definitely a thing you could do. Yes. I think I will add to that, self-awareness is definitely key. Like knowing that you don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a cool place to be. Like, hey, I got something I want to do, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I really don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do, and I'm in this place. How do I get out of it? And prayer is good. You take that prayer and you bring it to it. And the thing is, sometimes people are praying and they think prayer is a one-way
Right.
thing. Prayer is a two-way thing. So sometimes what you got to do is be quiet.
Yep.
We spend too much time asking, but we don't listen for the answers.
Mm-hmm.
And then the funny thing about humans, when we get the answer, oh no, that can't be it. That can't. No, I know. Let's do it again.
I'm so guilty
rewind.
of that.
That can't be it. Oh my goodness. Let's go on with some more. I like. Okay, Mr. Murray diving in. He's playing in. He said, if you're totally satisfied with where you are now, there is no more growth.
Interesting.
I'm gonna let that sit there for a minute. Let that marinate.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It makes me think of being a lifelong learner. That's what it makes me think of.
Because leaders are learners. So they're always trying to learn, always trying to expand. Wow. Thank you.
And there's
Mr.
always
Murray.
something to learn, especially our world is changing rapidly. There's always something to learn.
Okay. You talking about there's always something to learn. I'm going to tell you the first thing I've learned. It took me many years to learn and getting fired to learn it. Here's what I learned. That I did not know how to lead myself. I had spent many years leading other people. I mean, big teams and multi-million-dollar companies and locations. And when I got fired, at that moment, I realized I did not know how to properly lead myself. And that's why I've been on this self-leadership journey. That's kind of like, I'm like, okay, how do you lead yourself? Because if you can't lead yourself, how impactful can you be leading others when you're wounded and all that woundedness is just spilling out on everybody else?
Right.
And you don't know it. So that's why I like when the person say, hey, you know what? I realized that something is missing. That's a good start. When you realize something is missing. That's
absolutely. Because it could send you on a journey to figure out what it is that's missing.
Yeah. Could that journey help not only you, but other people?
I think so. I'd like to know what you all think, but I think so.
All right. While they thinking that, let's go here. Oh man, yeah. When you go through, because I'm gonna give you a hint. There's a message in your mess, but when you're going through stuff and you recover from it and things you learn, your question is, can that be used to help others? Was that it? I want to make sure I'm hearing you right.
Yeah, I'm sorry because I read
I read
a comment and I was
what'd you read?
I read Regina says, you see that? Go up. Go up. There you go. You just
right here.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
She's happy where she is and she's looking forward to the sequels to be released.
So what are sequels? Next levels. So although she says she's happy where she is, why are we writing a sequel? Because there's more.
Because there's more.
So I feel you, but if you're waiting on the sequels, that means you're waiting on the next level. So there's more in you. When I look at the except for the last one was lame. What was the one? The movie?
Oh, the multiverse.
Yeah, that thing was crazy. But what they call Marvel, the Marvel movies when they come out, I'm like, I go all the way to the end because they always have this little cliffhanger at the end, or they introduce the next series. So although I might have been satisfied with the movie that I just saw, last movie I wasn't, but although in most cases I'm satisfied, I'm also looking to the end of it, the trailers, and then they normally put it in after the trailer,
after the credits.
After the credits, yeah, and then they show you a glimpse of what's to come. So the sequel in your life is what's to come, and that's a beautiful place to be in too. When you're ready to start writing the sequel. And Regina, I can't wait to see that release too.
Yeah.
Shoot. I like, did you see what James said? James says, chasing perfection, waiting to start when you think we're ready or have it perfect. I don't think that's going to work. I don't think that's going to
Because,
work.
and I'm so glad you said that, because it reminds me of just the fact that there's so many things we learn along the way. One, I've learned many more things probably from my mistakes, what could be considered or construed as failures, things that didn't quite go the way I thought they should, but
Right.
I've learned so many lessons from them, as opposed to when things maybe fell in place really easily. Those are the things, okay, done, got it, boom,
Right.
boom, boom, keep moving. But when I had mistakes, it caused me to pause, caused me to reflect, caused me to learn some lessons, because there's nothing that's wasted that we go through.
Right.
I believe
Right.
God makes it all fall into place for wherever he's taken us and whatever he has us to do.
Yeah, yeah. And I know the Coopers, one of their things is like the process. The process.
And don't nobody like the process.
Nobody likes the process.
I think I said that when y'all were on here.
Yeah. And as a matter of fact, they'll be back soon on the 7th. In a couple of days, they'll be back on. You don't want to miss that. If you're listening to this,
I think that's a Thursday.
I think that's a Thursday too. I'm not sure. But man, the sequel. What is it going to be like? The next level. Hey, it's good to see. I'm gonna go. V-Jazz is out here. I'm glad to see you out here, man. I hope you're having a safe Independence Day, July the 4th. Hope you're safe out there, because you're on the front line serving us, man, and in your way, your capacity and in the work that you do. So we thank you for all that you do. Thank you for that. Man, this is good. So you would ask the people a question. Did they give you a feedback?
I don't think so.
All right, we'll move on. They're probably like us, kind of like, what were we talking about?
We got distracted. A squirrel went by.
Yeah, squirrel. You're like, what's going on? Oh my goodness!
But the sequel thing came up, and then it brought to my mind, actually, if you think about, sometimes there are books, and then there's a first edition, then there's a second edition, because maybe there's some new developments that have happened, or some things have changed, and the book either needs to be updated, or it needs to be rounded out more, because they've just learned something new. Right. And so there's always, I think it was Brother Murray who got us going on the fact that we have to. Well, he didn't say we have to keep learning, but he mentioned, what did he say?
I got it right here. I think this is it here. If you're totally satisfied with where you are now, there's no more growth.
Yeah.
So that got us on that.
Yeah.
Down that one. So that was
gotta
a good question.
Gotta keep growing.
So a lot of stuff. I think people are talking to each other now. Here's one.
Wait.
What's this? This one there?
Yeah.
Okay. You go.
But can your life sequel ever come to a conclusion? Not talking about death, but knowing that you can say there's nothing else to do. Well, that's a good question.
That's a good question. Come on, Tyrone. Unpack that a little bit more. But can your life sequel ever come to a conclusion? Now, we're not talking about death, but knowing that you can say there's nothing else to do. I don't know I could get there.
I was gonna say I have just a different perspective.
Yeah, I don't. Okay, what's that?
Well, I truly believe that as long as you have breath in your body, there's purpose.
Yes.
And there's always something for you to do. And it doesn't mean that it has to be on a big stage. It could be within your family. Maybe it's pouring into that next generation. But I just believe as long as you're here, there's always purpose to your being here. And so I think there's always something for us to do.
Yeah. I don't, in certain customs, let's talk about retirement. People say, okay, well, I'm done working. And then I was listening to the book, reading the book, Thou Shalt Prosper. I want to say Rabbi, y'all might know, if correct me if I'm wrong, Lapin, and Rabbi Lapin, I believe, Daniel Lapin. And he was saying that in the Jewish customs, or the word retirement, if you do a word study, there's no word for retirement. That's something that I think we've made up, that we work. And that's because a lot of us are working in stuff we shouldn't be doing. Then you I want to finish this. I don't want to do it. But when you really are into your lane, remember, oh my God, remember the guy, Joshua and Caleb went over as spies, right? And Caleb was, how old was he? And he was like, look, I'm still strong. Give me my hill. Give me my mountain. he wasn't ready to give in. He said, I'm just as strong, because he was passionate about what he was doing and what
Right.
he was going to be accomplishing. There was no retirement in him.
Right. And I mean, that reminds me, because I just finished reading through Deuteronomy. And so when Moses was about to die, I forgot exactly what his age was. It was
Come on, scholars.
yeah, how old was Moses?
Right.
But here's the thing. So God didn't allow him into the promised land because, Moses
Moses got
unfortunately
attitude.
he messed up.
Right,
He
yeah,
messed up. The
attitude.
guy was like, you know what? I'm gonna let you see it, but you're not gonna go over.
Man, isn't that painful?
But here's the thing. When he died, it said he was still full of vitality. It says eyesight was still sharp. So it wasn't like
I can't even say that now.
It wasn't like, just because he had gotten to a certain age that there was no more purpose. But when his time finally came, he was doing things. I mean, he was given last directives before he finally transitioned.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing I loved was that he was still full of vitality. His eyesight had not dimmed. Like there was this whole description about how full of life he still was.
Yeah. And most of you may know what it feels like. You probably had a little breadcrumb when you did something, and the way you felt when you did whatever that thing was, it was like, man, why does it have to end? I could keep on doing this. Oh my God. Okay, we got a couple of people
120,
saying,
thank you.
120.
I was going to say that, but I didn't want to be wrong.
120. We got a second 120.
All right, so it's confirmation.
120. All right, cool. To have that vitality like that at 120, he was on mission.
Mm-hmm.
What is Tyrone saying? I was thinking that was. Let me bring this up, because y'all got some deep stuff here. What is he saying, baby?
I was thinking that as you move to another life phase, there are other sequels to write, work accomplished.
Absolutely. And one of the reasons it could be because you learned more.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen more. Imagine, just looking at, like, we went on vacation and just looking at the waves. I've never looked at the waves coming in to the shore like that until I was in this season of life. And now my lens, the way I see things, are just a little bit differently,
mm-hmm.
a little different.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yes, when you get to certain different phases of life, you can write a different chapter. Part 2, part 3 of the book of life. You can do that. You can do that.
And I think if you're a Christian, you're a believer, we don't know what direction life may take us, but God knows. And I think that, once we kind of once we start to get comfortable in one thing, he shifts it. Mm-hmm. He changes it because we're always to be dependent on him. And so, to be perfectly honest, I never saw us doing this. Year one of marriage, I never saw us doing anything together like what we're currently doing. Live, this live stream, but also the teaching that we do. I didn't see that. And I feel like God, he's the one writing our story, number one. And he shifts it however and whenever he wills. And for us, we're just trying to be obedient, walk by faith and not by sight. And so sometimes, that shift will occur at unexpected times. But I think we're at a place now where we're like, okay, let's go with it.
Yeah, I think we're getting a lot of confirmation on things. There's letters. Remember, I got that letter, and right in the middle of the letter was the word of our show.
Yep.
I was like, you got to be kidding me, right? It was right there in the middle of the letter. Just the responses that we're getting offline from people that are like, yeah, keep doing what you're doing. And so we're seeing things line up. And for those who are married, this is probably the first, or one of the first, if not the first thing where we were definitely in unison. Unison's about, right? Am I saying that right?
Unison.
Yeah, unison about. Okay. It's been a long day. It's been a long day. So in unison about that, no back and forth. No, what are you talking about? It's like we're diving in and we're on the same page, and it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And that took time.
It did. And you know what? This is a word that has really been resonating in my spirit probably the last few months. Mm-hmm. And that word is agreement. Mm-hmm. And, the Bible talks about how can two walk together unless they agree. So I thought about that, the two of us, we have to be in agreement on whatever it is God is presenting to us. But the other thing that hit me, and I heard a minister talk about this, he said, how can we how can we walk forward in the vision God has for us, but we're not in agreement with God?
Mm.
And that thing hit me so hard because I don't know about you, but for me, there were times where God gave me something and I was like, yeah, no, I don't think that's you. Or that's not the way I really want to go.
Sure.
And so how can you move forward in what God has for you if you don't get into alignment and agreement with him? How can we do it?
Well, somebody just was on your tail with that one. Proverbs 16:9, we make our plans, but God orders our steps. So we have to leave room for where God is taking us to. Although we're making our plans, leave some space in there, some buffer for God to say, yeah, I think I don't think that's the way that you should go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I firmly believe that anything that opens up for us is God. I don't think there's anything that we can force open. And if we do force it open, it's not going to go well.
Yeah, I've tried that.
I have too.
I've tried that. What they call grinding?
Right.
Grind is trying to make it happen. You got to make it happen. Got to make it happen. And you look ground up. That's what you look like at the end of it. You don't look like you've been through grace. You look like you've been ground up. That's not a good look.
Not at all.
So I'd rather grace through it than to be grinded up. And it's crazy. Oh my God. So where are we at, ladies and gentlemen? Where are we at? Okay. So this is like our brief show today. This is not a long one. I just wanted you guys to, really, embrace that, shoot, this is your time to celebrate. Let's talk. Oh, I want to switch. What do you think right now is holding you back? One thing. What's one thing that could be holding you back? It could be, something, I know for me, for the longest time, it was words that people might have said when I was a kid that would hold me back, or words that people would say over a period of time that would chip away at where I was trying to go, and it would mess with my, just my thinking and stuff like that. So you got to be strong in today's society. You got to have thick skin.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got one. Let's see. Let me go from here. Let me go here. So alignment and agreement is revealed through prayer, devotional quiet time with him, communion with God, having communion with God. That's really good. That's really good. Thanks, Tyrone. What other next steps? What is the one thing? We're just talking. So what is one thing that you're probably, I don't know if it's a fear or preventing you from whatever that next step is for you? What do you think that one thing is that you need to be independent of?
I think for me, one of the biggest things that had previously been holding me back, and I probably still have a little ways to go to completely get beyond it, is fear of the unknown.
Okay.
I'm the type of person, I'm very concrete. Yeah. I like to know. And that doesn't always work well when you are trying to just follow the leading and prompting of the Lord. And so
or the husband.
Or the husband. Very true. But for me, it was just if I couldn't clearly see it, if I didn't fully understand it, if I was fearful of how's this going to play out, then that would be something that has held me back.
How about some thinking? Just, what are you saying to yourself in your mind? Some of those strongholds are self-inflicted.
Yep.
They're not even real. It's just it could be cultural too, though. Let me back off a little bit. It could be what you've been exposed to. That's why environment is so important. Your environment, what you've seen, what you've been around, what you've been exposed to.
Right.
And
what people have said to you.
What people have said to you, what people have said to you, and they think you don't know that they said it about you and stuff like that. All kind of craziness, but the mind is an interesting playground. It's the devil's playground, and you're getting in your head and having you think certain ways that are not true about you. And I know, like Tyrone was saying, the truth is in the word. I know he's probably typing it now, but the truth is in the word. The pages in there that's the truth about who you are and how you were designed and what you're created to do and how you are a, good works, and how God is going to do good works in you and through you rather. And that's what we got to, focus on. Not what the people are saying and sometimes not even what your mind is saying. It's just like,
Yeah.
what is the truth saying in the pages?
One of the things that I learned, because yes, I think many people have struggled with, just the wrong thoughts. And
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that I learned, and sometimes it's so I guess it's second nature for you to think the wrong way, that it takes some effort to start thinking the right way. And one of the things that I learned or realized is that even the way I sometimes viewed God, my thinking was wrong
Mm-hmm.
there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I remember I was going through a really tough time in this one season of my life. And a friend of mine said to me, Karen, God is faithful. And that thing hit me so hard because I was so worried. And when she said God is faithful, it made me realize that I wasn't looking at God for who he is based on
Mm-hmm.
his characteristics, and that he loves me, that he's trustworthy, that he's not a man that he should lie. These are all things that we learn about the Lord in scripture. And when she said God is faithful, it really pricked my heart, because it made me start thinking, would I be so worried if I really relied on what God's character says about
Sure.
him
Sure.
and
Sure.
what his promises tell me? And when she said that, it started shifting my
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
mindset. And so I just share that because maybe for someone out there who tunes in, who listens, if you don't know, if you're thinking, well, nobody loves me. But if you know that there's a God
Sure.
out there who
Sure.
loves you
Mm-hmm.
with an unconditional love, no matter where you've gone, no matter what you've done, no matter how far you've fallen away, if you have an understanding that God loves you, you can't make a statement that nobody loves me.
Right. Right. Right.
And
That
so
makes
when we
sense.
have to me, it's just a changing how we think about who God is.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes also
Mm-hmm.
helps to change our thinking.
So, okay, speaking of that, so look at what James said. We were talking about the mind is the devil's playground, but he said it could be God's masterpiece, though, right? There's
Love that.
also where he creates the masterpiece of who we are. That's
Yep.
good. Tyrone said that he wanted to, prioritizing unimportant stuff. It's one of those, I think, one of those hiccups.
Mm-hmm.
Is it urgent? And important. How there's these quadrants where it's urgent, important, not urgent. Y'all know that stuff, right? And so really understanding where to put things in their proper category,
Mm-hmm.
and being okay with not focusing on the stuff. Let me sum it up this way. What's the gentleman name? Oh man, he said, "Don't major in minor things." Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm gonna think of his name when I get. I'm gonna say it when I get it, but not Zig Ziglar. What's the other guy like? Jim Rohn.
Oh, okay.
Jim Rohn.
I was
He
like,
said,
a few.
yeah, I like a few of those guys. But he said, yeah, don't major in minor things. We got to prioritize the right things that we need to major on, and which like focusing on that next step, like finding out not all the steps. Sometimes you need to have that right next step that you need to take to start moving in the right direction for your life.
Absolutely.
This is good. Oh man, awesome. Well, I don't know about you guys, but we still got a little bit of time for this holiday. Some of y'all probably getting ready to go look at the fireworks, and we want to give you opportunity to go be free to do that, because you are free to do that.
Or free not to.
Right. That's good. So we can give you room for that. We want to take a moment to see if there's any other questions, comments, or concern. I'm happy for all that came out tonight on this 4th day of July, this Independence Day. Thank you for coming out. I really appreciate that. Jim Rome, I got you, man. Jim Rome. That's right, Jay. I knew you had to come on in there, man. Yeah, he said, don't major in minor things. So that's good stuff. Yeah. Did y'all eat well? Did y'all eat those hot dogs and hamburgers and stuff? Tell the truth. Did y'all do all this stuff? Some of y'all got a hot dog in your hand right now. Well, you know what I didn't get? There was no ribs.
Right.
Nobody had ribs. Who has ribs out there? Let me know. Go ahead and put it in the chat. Who has ribs?
We trying to do better, so don't tell them.
I'm looking too. I'm looking for the first one, because I know where y'all live at. Come on now. Where's the ribs at? No ribs. So we're going to go ahead and have a meal and probably watch some, I don't know, we'll see some fireworks around here. No matter where we are in our neighborhood, there's going to be fireworks. Look, nah, bruh. What is it? Oh, y'all gonna crash. Okay. All right, cool. That's because y'all got so much work to do. Y'all got so many people y'all are helping that you got to work. Okay, here we go. I like this one. Proverbs 16:3. Commit your works to the Lord and your plans will be established. You know what, Tyrone?
Mhm.
That is a good one.
Mhm.
So it's almost like whatever work you're doing. Oh my God, no, they didn't. I'm gonna come to that one. Hold on. So I'm doing like this. I don't even want to look at it. Whatever work we are starting to do or planning to do, if we commit it to the Lord, how about letting the Lord establish you versus you trying to establish yourself? What
Mhm.
if you're standing on what the Lord says or what the Lord has for you? You're standing on that uh,
Foundation.
foundation. I'm gonna get some rest. I'm gonna be all right.
Okay.
I'm gonna be all right. I'm gonna get some rest. I'm gonna be all right. But what if that's your firm foundation? That's what I was trying to say. Firm foundation
Mhm.
was on the Lord, and you established that. That's a good one. When you're starting, like I'm creating just for this is it's only you guys out here, tonight. But I'm in the process of creating a course around self leadership, and I'm not going to tell you all the titles and stuff like that, but as I'm sitting looking at module 1 of the course, making sure I'm committing that work to the Lord.
Mhm.
Like it's not let me create this course so I can just put me out there. Let me create this course so people can see God out there.
Mhm.
And so Proverbs 16:3. I think I'll go back and read that one. Thank you, Tyrone. But the thing that was killing me is that the Coopers put up barbecue pizza with pineapple. How do you know, man? That's my joint right there. Is that
Yes.
that's mine. I love it. I love it, man. We used to call it the Hawaiian style pizza
Mhm.
in San Diego. They used to call it the Hawaiian style pizza. I was like, Hawaiian style pizza, and I got introduced to it. So, man, oh no, let me move on with this show here. I was just meditating on that. I was like, Hey guys, look.
They are not part of the support system. We need y'all to be on the same page.
Oh, that was so good. Hey, look, we're gonna go ahead and let you guys go. Any parting words you want to say before we go? We go eat.
Well, yeah, well, first, just, not first, but lastly, thank you so much for joining us on Independence Day. We know it's a holiday. Y'all could have been anywhere else, and we're just thankful that you decided to hang out with us for a little bit this evening or this whenever you decide to
Whenever you
watch
look
it,
at this, yeah.
watch the show. And listen, this week we have so many great shows coming up. We just ask you, if you have not gotten to the YouTube channel, please do subscribe. Make sure that you tune in because we have topics. We're talking about business again, how to
Focus on
narrow
your
your
niche,
focus. We're talking about relationships. First, we got a young couple they're talking about being newlyweds.
Yep, got that.
And if you know anybody who's single, who's in the very beginning stages of their marriage, please share with them that they need to be tuned in. That would be Wednesday evening.
Sure.
Thursday, we have James and Regina Cooper,
Marriage
who've been married over 26 years. They're going to be talking about longevity in marriage. Make sure y'all tune in. They've got some wisdom to share, and we'll probably just chime in here and there because they got us beat.
But then we got fatherhood. Focus on fatherhood. Dynamic gentleman coming on talking about being a father. And then we got single motherhood. I mean, just bam, 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 back to back. And then that takes us into Sunday. And then we have we had some questions about, we had a person come on talking about business. And he talked about money and finances and growing your money. And he made a statement about not putting your money in the traditional bank. So we got questions. Well, where do you put your money? And so he's coming back to talk about where do you put your money so you can get better returns versus putting it in a traditional bank, getting 0.1. What? I don't know what the banks are giving out now, 0.000%.
Right.
And so if you want to hear that, we're going to let him just take the mic and just show us how to be better at making those choices.
Yeah. And I think he's going to touch on creating generational wealth as
Generational
well.
wealth as well. Yep. So
you
those
don't want
two
to miss
things.
it. Don't want to miss it.
And then
there's
it's
some,
a lot.
that's just this week
Yeah.
coming up. So y'all tune in, and the following week is our last week. So y'all don't want to miss a night.
Yeah.
Because it's just every conversation builds upon the next.
Sure.
And we've been taking notes, and we've been trying to put some things into practice into our own lives as well.
Sure enough.
That's how I started exercising again.
Yep. She said, nah, not me. She said, I'm going to take control of my health.
Yeah.
And she's been up there, so doing her thing. I love it.
But check back in with me in a month. Let's see where we are. But the goal is to still be active and doing it. So.
That's good stuff, babe. All right, look, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like it, all that kind of good stuff.
Share with your family and friends.
If you know somebody said, man, you should have looked at this thing, just send them, share it with them. I think there's a way you can share the thing and say, hey, look, just take a look at this. Or just tell them, go to the channel and just binge watch all of them and catch up. Yeah, because we got to binge watch. I think let's do Obi-Wan Kenobi. Let's catch up on what happened with him.
Okay.
It's so slow. So slow. Oh, my God.
We're not going to get any endorsements out this way. Just joking.
Hey, look, y'all be easy. Y'all take it easy.
Yeah. Have a great evening. Enjoy your 4th. And we look forward to seeing you on day 16.
Y'all take care. All right. Bye now.